Warning, there are spoilers in this video about the final boss sequence, but if you're watching this for hard mode, then you would have already beaten this on normal anyways. You cannot change your materia or equipment during the final set of bosses, so I will have recommendations on what materias to bring in the description below. There will only be a couple must-haves. You want Steadfast block, precision defense focus, and healing on everyone. The other must-have is barrier linked with Magnify on BARRET. This will save your team from a potential one-shot. You should also bring a max elemental spell on Aerith. I picked Thundaga since lightning has a very high chance to hit enemies, while blizzard is kind of slow and enemies could run out of it before it blows up. And some nice to haves are revival in case of emergencies, first strike and ATB assist on Cloud makes it very comfy, and link elemental with the dual elements on either BARRET, YUFFIE, or Red 13's armor. It's not required, but it will help reduce some damage. I also like using prayer since it's a quick team heal without spending MP. You can fill the rest of the slots with all your purple stat up materias, and if you missed scanning Sephiroth last time, bring a Cess on Cloud to finish your Pokédex. My guide will barely use any MP. The only time it's needed is with BARRET casting Mana Ward on the whole party once. So feel free to cast heal or any offensive spells in the later parts of the fight. We are starting off with Cloud versus Sephiroth Reborn. At the beginning, he's gonna slam his hand down, so block that. Then you gotta run towards his weird butt orb thing while dodging tornadoes. Be careful not to touch the tornadoes because it's gonna do like 4,000 damage on you and that hurts. This fight is pretty much free as long as you look at what move Sephiroth is using. You see where his name is? The moves that he will use is gonna be red on top of that name. So when you see words up there, be ready to dodge. He has 3 attacks in this phase and all of them can be avoided. After 3 moves or so, Sephiroth is gonna cast Maelstrom, which will blow you back at the beginning. But, if you are behind the butt when he casts it, his behind will actually block you from moving back. You'll need at least 1 full ATB gauge when you deplete the health bar, because at the start of the next part, he'll reduce your health to 1 and you'll need to heal up. So Heartless Angel is the unblockable move that reduces everyone to 1 health. After he uses that, use Chakra or healing to put yourself out of 1 HP, and then get comfortable with dodging all these attacks. There's not that many and they're not that bad. Apocalyptic Fate is a melee AoE next to him, so just dodge backwards to avoid it. Swarm shoots 3 small projectiles, and it's annoying, but it doesn't do that much damage. Infrared Horror is the same as last phase, where there's 5 little pillars that you can dodge. And here's Apocalyptic Fate again. I'm blocking it instead of dodging it to show you that every move can also be blocked if you don't want to dodge. Hell's Gate can be tricky to dodge at first, so I recommend blocking, because if you mess up the timing on the dodge, you're going to take a lot of damage, but if you block too early, you'll take a lot less damage than missing a dodge. And he's going to do these attacks again and again, so get used to blocking or dodging. There is one attack not shown here, which is Zanshin. He'll shoot 3 slow wind blades at you, but they're pretty easy to side dodge. After a couple minutes, he'll use Heartless Angel again and put you down to 1 HP, and you pretty much rinse and repeat until you drain his health enough. Do not rush this phase since you're gonna need to know these patterns later on, so you're gonna have to learn to avoid each of these attacks anyway. Alright, the next phase is not really much of a fight against Sephiroth, but against Bahamut Arisen. And you are forced to play Tifa, BARRET, and Cait Sith. At the start, Bahamut's always going to use a couple melee hits that doesn't have a name, so start blocking with Tifa. He will also use Umbral Bombardment a lot. You just need to run sideways and dodge when he throws the bomb. But a better option is to switch to a different character, because the AI is actually pretty good at dodging these attacks. And here's why we want Barrier on BARRET. Bahamut's gonna cast Giga Flare super early, so the first time you have Breathing Room, cast Mana Ward on BARRET to reduce the damage to half. If Tifa's not topped off, she'll get one shot without the shield. So Bahamut has a lot of attacks here that might be hard to dodge if you're not used to it. The best way to handle this fight is to keep switching the character you're controlling to someone he is not targeting. If you're playing as Tifa and Bahamut targets you, switch to Barret or Cait Sith. When Bahamut targets your new character, switch to another. The AI is very good at dodging, and it makes this fight quite easy if you keep hopping character. Eventually, Sephiroth will slam his hand down, and this is the actual goal of the fight. You'll need to take down both hands, so save your ATB for this if you can. Tifa's dive kick and Barret's maximum fury are quick and does very good damage on the hands. I like to use Cait Sith to heal with prayer, since his dice and other stuff are pretty slow and you might not get to hit the hand in time. If you remove all of Bahamut's health, Sephiroth will bring his hands in again to heal Bahamut. Use this chance to deal as much damage to the hands as you can, and repeat. This fight is not a race, there's no enrage or anything, so no need to rush. Just keep switching characters so Bahamut targets the AI, and unload all your stuff on the hands when Sephiroth brings them in. And do not forget to use your synergy attacks when you get them. That's pretty much for this phase. If you want to skip to the next one, here's the timestamp. Alright, we're finally back to 1v1 again, and this opening... Alright, we're finally back to 1v1 again, and this opening sends shivers down my spine since... Alright, we're back to 1v1 again, and if you have played Crisis... Alright, we're back to 1v1 again, and if you have played Crisis Core, then this little opening might send shivers down your spine like it did to me.
Embrace your dreams, and whatever happens, protect your honor as a soldier.
I got so much nostalgia from hearing Zack do his little model. So remember the 1v1 fight with Cloud that I told you to memorize the moves? Well, this is pretty much the exact same fight. Sephiroth has all the same moves, plus a couple more extra ones. Your goal is to defeat the chest, or the head, the lower head here, in order to do damage to the main body. There will also be a little shield bubble in the middle that will protect you from some attacks. You can use it to safely heal, but it's not really needed. You can dodge all his attacks with just dodging or blocking anyway. And when you pressure Sephiroth Reborn, use Meteor Shot, and if you want to do raw damage, then use Chain Slash. So this attack is modified from the Hellgate that we're used to. You don't have to dodge last second in order to avoid it. You can just keep moving, and you should bait that away from Sephiroth, and it puts a bad AoE on the floor that you do not want to stand on. Just think floor is lava and you want to bait it away. Zack does have a unique mechanic with charging to increase his abilities, but you don't really need to use that part of his kit. You can also stand in the safety bubble in the middle and just slowly charge, but you're just wasting uptime at that point. When you eventually have 3 synergy bars, save it for the next stagger phase. Once he's staggered, you can see a cool synergy attack between Zack and Cloud. And sadly, this will be the last time you'll be playing as Zack, so spend all the MP you want. He has access to all the basic spells, so go ahead and use whatever you want at your leisure. After their final dual attack, you'll be going back to the main party. This time, Yuffie is going to be your MVP. You see Sephiroth's hands? Those change between 4 different elements or colors, and you want to hit those hands with the opposite element they're on. If it's red or fire, hit it with ice. If it's white or ice, then hit it with fire. If it's purplish, bluish, or lightning, use wind, and if it's green and wind, use lightning. Just the opposite elements. If you have AP, you can cast the raw version of the spell and do good damage. If you want to save on MP, then use YUFFIE and her ninjutsus. Her attacks have infinite range and she can expose every weakness. If you are mainly using YUFFIE, then by the time you use her ninjutsus and blindside or windstorm to down one hand, you will have enough charge for a banishment level 3, and if you use that on the other hand on the weak element, then it's gonna die in one shot. This is also the fight I recommend bring the dual element materias and linking it with elemental on your armor. So one game plan is just stay on YUFFIE, use the elemental ninjutsu that Sephiroth is weak against, and keep doppelganger up at all times to do all the damage. This rapture attack summons a tornado that lasts a long time and it'll keep chasing you. You can run away to avoid damage, but if you end up being cornered against the wall, just hold block until the tornado is over. So here's what I was talking about earlier. By the time you down one arm with all the ninjutsus, doppelgangers, blindsides, and whatnot with YUFFIE, you have enough charges to have banishment level 3, and landing banishment 3 will instantly destroy the second hand. You can also cast a raw spell to make this quicker since you're not going to need any more mana after this fight. After both arms are down, the core will be open, and the only attack to worry about is Atonement, where he does a little melee flap. Just keep an eye out for the name of the move to appear on the top of the screen, and get ready to block. When you get to the next part, he's gonna use Heartless Angel again, so don't be a fool like me and heal too early. Wait for the attack to reduce your health to 1 HP before you heal. I lost red because I didn't have the ATBs to heal at this point since I wasted it before. And here's the easy way to do this part of the fight. Use BARRET or YUFFIE and just stay far away. Just keep shooting him from the back end of the arena and he can't really do much against you. When he charges his Octo Slash, use a Limit Break to cancel it. If you do not have a Limit Break ready, then use Synergy attacks and ability that does big damage. He does not have much health on this phase, so it's gonna go through fairly quickly. Just stay in the back line and keep attacking, and he'll be down in no time.
Shake things up. Coward, lend me your strength.
Alright, congratulations on making it this far. We are finally on the home stretch. This fight is not as bad as the last time you fought Sephiroth. It seems way less chaotic than you expect for a final battle. But without further ado,
Let's end this. Together.
like all the other humanoid bosses in the game, you cannot just spam attack, you need to counter back when given the opening. So here are the main attacks that you can counter to return the most damage. The first one is the Whisper Cannon. Run counterclockwise behind him, and once you get far enough behind, you can charge a Spell Blade to instantly pressure him. Another opening is when Sephiroth does a Stinger. If you dodge it or he targets Aerith, then you can freely use a Spell Blade to return fire. My favorite opening is when he does a jump attack, dodge away from the initial attack, then dodge one more to avoid the Whisper explosion, then you have all the time in the world to do another Spell Blade. And the last big opening is Whisper Whirlwind. When he casts a tornado, switch to the other character, because the tornado is gonna chase your AI, and the AI is pretty good at dodging. you'll be seeing AI Cloud dodging really well in the back. When there's a tornado, you can only attack the sword and it's only weak against magic, so use Aerith's basic attack or any spell, or use Cloud's Windblade by dodging and then attacking. If you break the sword in time, Sephiroth's gonna get pressured and you're free to do more stagger damage. Oh, and I almost forgot the best counter, Octo Slash. When you see him do this, run up and use a Spell Blade on his wing and his sword. There's plenty of time to hit both of them with Spell Blade, so no need to rush. Now that we know how to counter him, let's go to the actual fight. We're gonna do something dumb and smart at the beginning. Purposely get hit by his little melee strikes, and then hold block while you're getting hit. The timing makes it so you'll perfect guard the final swing and stop his attack. If you do not perfect guard or dodge the fourth swing, he's gonna do another 3 hits on you like this. So it's actually better to get hit to take less damage in this case. And if you forgot to assess him in the first playthrough, do so now to complete your Pokédex, because the Sephiroth you fought earlier counts as a different version than this one. And whenever you can, cast Arcane Ward with Aerith. You want this set up nice and early so you can cast your spell later on. Shortly into the battle, he'll use the Whisper Cannon that we saw earlier. Just run around until you get behind him with a lot of breathing room, then use Spellblade. If you have ATP assist, then Aerith will have 2 bars by now after you used Focus Thrust twice. So switch to her, get on the Arcane Ward, and use whichever Gauss spell you brought along. All these attacks since the start will pretty much always stagger Sephiroth at this point, and when he's staggered, use Braver once and Spellblade twice with Cloud for the most damage. And remember to use your synergy attack to increase your limit break.
Try using it.
For Skewer, don't panic and wait for him to teleport, then dodge. The Errant Whisper is what we've seen on a lot of phases. Just start running around to avoid the ghost. If you're good on health and Aerith happens to have 2 bars of ATB, then switch to Aerith after dodging one of Sephiroth's attacks and cast another Gauss spell on the Arcane Ward. Sephiroth also has the Heartless Angel attack in this phase, so after he does it, use a Kira on everyone or Chakra or anything to top yourself off real quick. And if you don't have ATB to heal both characters, make sure to split up so Sephiroth will not hit both of you with an attack. Lucky for me, he did his jump attack here, which gives me a nice opening. I'm going to use this chance to do a Spell Blade to give myself and Aerith some more ATB and do some good damage. For Skewer, don't panic and wait for him to teleport, then dodge. The biggest mistake with Skewer is dodging too early before he teleports. And after a little bit into the fight, after using your synergy attack, you'll have LB2 ready with Cloud, so just use Ascension whenever you want. And while Cloud is in his Limit Break animation, Sephiroth is going to be getting comboed and juggled, so switch to Aerith to build ATB or cast another Gauss spell while you can. When he's low enough health, he'll do his final attack, and this is pretty much your victory lap. You're literally gonna be running or dodging circles around him. At this point, just keep dodging using Wind Slash to build ATB. And once you have enough ATB, dodge a little, then use Focus Thrust, dodge and use another Focus Thrust to just pretty much build stagger. Your final goal here is to pressure him, and you can either do that with all the Wind Blade attacks over time, or Focus Thrust to make it faster. Aerith is not going to do too well at dodging, but don't worry about that too much. You'll have plenty of time to stagger Sephiroth with this Cloud alone before you run out of HP. And that's it for the final fight. Congratulations, you made it, soldier. All that's left is to enjoy the bittersweet ending once again. And as always, thanks for watching.